Oh, all right. First of all, there was some growth. It wasn't all bad. Disappointed that we lost that game by one. If you go back through from the beginning to the end, there'll probably be 20 possessions that were wasted. There will be defensive laps that we just gave up on. I'm saying this to the guys in the other locker room. Possession by possession defensively, make it as hard as you can for the opponent. Let me say that again. Possession by possession, make it as hard as you can for the opponent, especially on defense. The reason being, when you give a team that's like their team, very good passing team, not super athletic, but really good at what they do, and you allow them to get wide open back cuts, offensive rebounds, wide open threes, they're just dissecting you apart. In order to sustain that, to get over that, you have to be really solid, really disciplined, and you got to know what they're doing. We weren't real solid. We weren't real disciplined. We were disciplined in spurts. We were solid in spurts. They deserve to win. Well-coached team, out-coached us. Players outplayed us. They were the aggressor. They put us on our heels. They get a 10-point lead. A team like that's going to make 15, 12, 15 passes. You better really understand how hard you got to defend, or you lose. 1 point. Again, I'm going to say this. They're a very good team. Scotty Davenport does a great job. He's a very good coach. But it wasn't really about Bellarmine as much as it was about us. And I'm giving them all the credit in the world. They are a hell of a team. This is about our discipline that he exploited.
Coach, offensively, 28 three-point attempts tonight to 24 two-point attempts. Do you feel like the team was maybe settling for too many outside shots?
No question about it. I think in the first half, I can't remember the number, we had 16 threes and 10 twos, something like that. That's not who we are. That's not the way we practice. That's not the way we play. Since the day that I got in here, I've been talking about multiple lane touches. There was 10 possessions where we did not have a lane touch. That's not what we teach. That's not what we do. Now, as I say that, understand, this is a hard game. If it was easy, everybody would be winning. So I'm asking them to change, to do things that are uncomfortable for them right now. And that's why I say we win or we learn. Today is a hard lesson to learn. That's simple.
Kenny, I think 16 minutes for Sid. He didn't get a shot attempt. How much of that is what they're doing defensively? How much of it is what he didn't do or you guys didn't do to get him the ball?
A little bit of both. They were really good. They sagged the paint. We wanted to establish him in transition. We wanted to establish him in the post. Ran a couple plays for him. The timing of the play was off. We were panicked or rushed offensively. Didn't get him the ball, or he went too soon. but it's a learning lesson. Here's a kid that can force teams to double team, that can score in the paint, that's really strong around the basket, that can offensive rebound. He has to find a way to impose his will. That's why he's a captain. He's been there before. I need him to help lead us. I'm not blaming him in any way, shape, or form, but we need more. We need more.
Kenny, in the under 10 possession, 9.8 seconds, did you get what you wanted? I think Lance shot the ball from the corner or not?
Lance came off. I thought the last two possessions, maybe the last three, wide open shots. The three that we made, we just put that in today, executed it, got a wide open shot, and we had two other players wide open. The play that Kamari came off wide open. I can't ask for a better shot. My lesson to them is this: confidence is something that a lot of people don't like to talk about as coaches. It comes from doing something so hard for so long, and I hate to say it, it's a little bit of a fear of failure. When you live by that fear of failure, it makes you train a certain way. It makes you alert to everything, knowing that I'm going to shoot this shot thousands and thousands and thousands of times from a fatigued state. Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, LeBron James, thousands and thousands of times. If this is the life that you choose, you got to know your confidence isn't like a light switch. Can't turn it on and off. And I'm saying that as a team, not one individual. Confidence has to come from your work, and you got to work borderline insanely in order to be good.
Coach, you kind of touched base on it there a little bit, but with you got your point guard going to the free throw line to try to hit a big shot there. Are you concerned that with his many minutes he's playing that he might be tired in that situation?
Of course I am.
And what do you say to him when he misses that opportunity?
First of all, I think for L has to understand the power of having the ball that much in his hands. What exactly that means. It means sort of that you can't be emotional highs and lows. You got to be steady. You have to be so in tune to your teammates that you are controlling a game, and you're finding that, for example, your man talked about Sidney Curry, find him. Brandon may need a post-up, find him. But then you got to know that you got to pick your spots offensively to take over a game, and that we lose by one. You can never be the guy when you're Sidney, L, Jalen, to give up and break down on plays. One possession, that's what this team is. One possession you break down can cost us a game. You have to be so in tune to being on point on everything that we're doing. It's the only way we can win. We have no wiggle room. Our leaders have to be leaders, and they have to lead by examples. They can't take a play off. They can't miss something. In order for us to win, they got to be really good.
Coach, you had 5 fast break points. It was more than the 0 you had in a couple games ago. But what is there a certain amount of fast break points that you want to have, and what is it going to take to kind of get those up and get out and running like how you want?
Well, that was a stretch, and I don't know what they ended up shooting for the game, but there was a point in the game we were sitting on the bench in huddle saying they're shooting 65%, they're shooting 70%. You're not getting fast break points when a team is shooting that high percentage. You got to get stops. All transition is a mistake by our offense, a missed shot by our offense, and we get out and fly. If we don't get stops, we can't run. So we have to be a better defensive team to force misses to get out and run.
Coach, with the game being such an important milestone for the city, Bellarmine coming up, how important was getting the energy of the home crowd tonight, especially with those moments where Bellarmine was really able to get the crowd into it?
Right before tip-off, as I looked in the crowd, and I thought the crowd was great, I said to the guys, understand what you're playing for, who you're playing for. They're here to support you. Give them your heart. Give them your heart. They deserve it. I just hope that people stick with us. Eventually, we're going to get it figured out. I don't know what that means, but I know we're going to get better. We have gotten better, but we have a long way to go, and we started out behind, to be honest with you. We have players that are struggling with confidence, struggling with who they are, what they are, and we're trying to help them through it. That's what coaching is. It's not X's and O's and drawing up plays. It's inspiring young people to be great, to inspiring young people to believe more than they've ever believed in their life, to getting a guy to think different. That's our challenge. That's what we're trying to do every single day. Some of it is with love. Some of it, to be honest with you, is putting our foot in their butt. Just what it is.
Kenny, the growth you saw over here, the growth you saw from Mike tonight, and you mentioned confidence. He really had confidence down the stretch, a couple of those shots.
No question. I want him to play, and I told him this in the locker room, work really, really hard, and then trust your spirit, trust your heart. There aren't many players that have a spirit like his. Trust it, but work hard so that when you go in the game, all you have to think about is my ticker and my brain. I'm not worrying about conditioning. I'm not worrying about confidence. I know what I'm doing. I'm competent. I'm confident, and I'm ready to just play and trust myself. That's what I need from him, and he was, in spurts, he was really good. I'm happy with Mike James, really am.
Okay. Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, guys.
Brandon, what were they doing that was making it so difficult for you guys to get the ball inside?
I think like with myself and like our other bigs or whoever was on the post, we just got to hold our post position because they're fighting. They're not just laying on our backs and stuff. And then once they do throw it in, they're sending another guy. So we just have to hold our post position and play stronger. And that's really it.
For both of you guys, I wonder what was the difference down the stretch and maybe over the course of the second half? Did you feel like you got more comfortable against some of the stuff they were running? What changed defensively for you all?
I think just like staying more locked in. They like to move the ball around a lot, and then like early in the shot clock or like late in the shot clock, we would just like give up because we were like running around so much. And not really staying locked in, like, trying to get a shutout, getting backdoor, getting driven by, which that's not what we work on at all. Try to take part in our defense, but, they run their stuff really well. They're really they're well coached. We tip our hats off to them, but we just got to stay more locked in for the whole 30 seconds, the whole shot clock. And, we got to finish with a rebound.
I think the difference was down the stretch. We became like more desperate, and like, we knew we had to make a run. We were down 10. We knew we had to make a run at all costs. That we just couldn't let them get an easy look. So we just became more desperate. That's what KP was telling us. Like, we have to pitch a shutout. We have to become more desperate. Like, play like our lives dependent on it. And I think if we play like that from the tip all the way through, I think we'll be a very good defensive team, and I think like we'll see different outcomes. You give them credit; they hit some tough shots. They ran their offense. They stuck to what they know. But I think if we just carry that over to the next game, how we play like those last 8 minutes, we'll be fine.
For both of you all, how do you all put this behind you and move forward? Is there some conversations that go on with the leaders in the locker room? How do you all put this behind you and move forward?
When things like this happen, you just got to come together even more, regroup. Our leaders, our captains, gotta step up to that, lead our group. Everybody is going to be held accountable. We just got to grow together. We're a young team, so we got to learn from stuff like this. But we just got to come together, grow together, become even tighter. We got a game in 3 days, so it's no time to soak and be sad. We just got to practice tomorrow, fix the stuff that we messed up on, and look forward to the next game.
I think piggyback off what he said. It's just one game. It started the season, but we don't really care about that. We want to win every game. We want to make a statement every night. But we're gonna look at the film, correct the mistakes, and we have to take more pride in our defense, and have to take more pride in our discipline. And we're gonna fix these mistakes, watch the film, go back to the drawing board, have a good day of practice for the next 2 days, and then we're gonna come out on Saturday and show it.
Mike, you were around last year, even though you weren't playing. You know how good Sid can be and how dominant he can be around the rim. He didn't get a shot tonight. What can he do differently, or what can you guys do differently to change that?
We can definitely get him more involved. Like, we all know who Sidney Curry is. Like, he's one of the best bigs in the ACC. So, of course, we gotta give him looks. But as you can see in the game, when we would get to the post, they would come and trap and double, so he was forced to kick it out. We need him to be more aggressive because he was one of our best players. Last year, we need him to crash the glass. But we'll definitely look forward to, like, getting him more involved. And you'll see Sidney Curry soon.
You guys took 28 of 52 shots from three-point. Is that what the plan was going in, or do you think you were taking too many threes?
Well, Bellarmine plays heavy in the gaps, so they try to keep the ball out of the paint. So every time you drive, there's somebody in the gap, which leaves the next dude open for three. But we didn't want to come into the game shooting that many threes. But the way they play, if you keep driving and kicking and keep driving and kicking, you'll get in rhythm, catch and shoot threes. So I guess that was the result of that. That's why you saw the stat line like that.
Mike, in the back. Kenny was talking about confidence. What has that process been like for you all trying to develop that confidence in terms of shooting and or maybe other parts of the game and trying to come together right now?
Confidence just comes from your work, and that's what he tells us all the time. We work so hard every day in practice. We have individual workouts, reps after reps after reps after reps. So that's what builds your confidence. You work so hard by yourself when the lights are off, when nobody's watching. When you're in the gym with your teammates, you work so hard that you become confident in yourself. You become confident in your teammates, and that's what he preaches to us every day, and he makes us do that. So that's where he gets the confidence thing from.
Due to class schedules, we have practice in less than 11 hours, so we may just stay here and practice. If y'all want to come watch practice, we'll just leave our game uniforms on and we'll just practice, because we have practice at 11 in the morning. I would be remiss if I didn't say two things. One, and I'm going to be totally transparent. I let the players talk all week. That's no knock on anyone else. This is all about these guys. I'm with them. I know what they're like. And the injuries they fought through. But I'm going to be totally transparent. There was times in the last war in that game, and my mind thought about Stanley Harden. I was with him a week ago Friday, excuse me. What he did for young people, and that I'm able to come out and coach young people. And people make fun of me about, being so optimistic. I am the luckiest guy that's ever coached the game of any sport, any level. And those guys, Alec Frame, 9 months off, has practiced 10 days. JB's practiced a day and a half, was out 8. Ben Johnson was out 7. Nick Thielen's not back yet. Ben Johnson, or I said Ben, it's unbelievable. But that game will make us better. We can't simulate going to the rim and have to make that next pass. When we did, we were successful. I don't have anybody can block a shot like that in practice. And when I look at, the big picture, that's a gain. That's a plus. Yes, the win. Yes. But I'll also be very transparent about something else that you're sick of hearing. You don't think they're special. Go recruit guys with a 4-year NCAA ban. That they came for the right reasons. It's amazing. For a ridiculous, non-explained to anybody ban, and they chose to come for each other. That is incredible. And I know how the last segment went. I get it. But there's so many teachable moments, and we'll learn that. But the bigger picture is how bad they want to be here. They deserve credit. In this day, where kids are going to 3 and 4 schools, the kid in Manhattan's going to go to 2 schools in 1 school year. And they wanted to come. I know I sound like a bragging father, but I'll take questions about the game. They're amazing. Anybody got anything?
Yeah, Coach, just touching on that, the last time you played UofL, you were a D2 program. It was an exhibition game. Just for the growth that the program has had over the last 4 years, culminating to tonight's win, just how special is that to you?
It's special for the players. I stood in the back corner of the locker room and just watched them. They didn't want to hear what I had to say. I just watched them. We have 3 kids finishing their MBAs right now. I don't know if I'm going to yell out there on the court and call Justin Betts Dr. Betts or what. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'd love to see an official turn to me if I said, Dr. Betts, would you please guard somebody? And he said, would you call him? I just stood in that locker room and watched them. And then, it's genuine. Then little Seth, who's 7, and has had cancer 4 times since he's 3, comes in the locker room. You would have thought Michael Jordan came in there. They were celebrating somebody else, not them. I will say, all I said to him after the game is the one thing that holds true, 2 things. Do what you're taught, number 1, and there's a lot to improve on in that regard. And 2, when everybody wants the same thing and is willing to do whatever it takes, that's very, very powerful. And they make sacrifices.
Coach, your team's going to go, this is the first win, first game. Your team's going to go on a crazy schedule. What does this do getting that win under your belt in game 1?
You know, success breeds success. It always does. But what I'm encouraged about is all the teachable moments. The last play of the game when JB hoisted the ball, I told him on the court when they were reviewing it, I said, you got to throw it higher. He did exactly what he was taught. It was 5/10. They put 9. If he throws it higher, they don't even get to inbound the ball, do they? We practice that. We practice that. Should have thrown it higher, JB. He looked at me like, but he did exactly what he's taught. You want to get it away from their basket, and then as it bounces, clock's eating up. There's nobody there. And by rule, it has to be inbounded 94 feet away. Teachable moments, Mark, teachable moments. And I embrace that. I do. If y'all knew some of the things that we practice, it's unbelievable. Anybody? Yes, sir, Joe.
I thought it was interesting that you were the first coach that Chris Mack faced in his debut. Being able to give that same sort of treatment to Kenny tonight, what sort of conversations did you have, and what do you wish for him moving forward with his program?
Well, it's ironic because Coach Crumb's first win ever was against Bellarmine. Coach Crumb's first win ever on that storied Hall of Fame career was against Bellarmine. So there must be something about opening up with us. I mean, now we're 3 deep in that. You know, all I said, I've known Kenny since the day he stepped on campus was, you know, you have a plan. You'll be good. You have a plan. That's a key.
Scotty back here. I guess you all lost a lot of offense from last season, but I guess after those first couple of minutes, you all seem to find it in a hurry. What kind of game?
Well, because we can't simulate what that length in practice. And we said to them all week, what's going to happen? You will adjust. You will adjust and keep doing what you're taught, and our execution was great. You point out we lost, you know, Dylan and CJ and Ethan, but the month of February last year, Ben Johnson was as good as anybody in our gym. And we're like, he's in a 5-year MBA program. And we're like, wow, man, he's as good as anybody in our gym. Alec Freen missed the last 5 weeks of the season. So, no, we had guys coming back. And Langdon Haddon on June the 5th weighed 254 pounds. He's at 227 right now. And he feels great about himself. So, you know, it's going to continue to grow. I go back to it. How hard do you think it is to recruit kids with that tournament on there? I mean, they're coming because they want to be there. Show me somebody that loves to where they go, they're going to be good at what they do. They are. They're going to be happy. Show me somebody that hates their job, they're a miserable person, and they're going to be probably not very good at what they do. So that's why they deserve so much. That's why all week, let them talk, let them talk. This is about them. They need to be treated special. Go ahead. I know everybody's tired of hearing the NCAA rant.
They were ahead 13-5. I think you outscored them 27-5 from that next stretch to go ahead 32-18. At that point, I think you were shooting close to 70%. What was working so well?
Just doing what we were taught. Not getting a shot, get the best shot. There's no question. That's it. That's it. You know, we say all the time in practice, Rick, you know, if you practice a shot in individual instruction and you transfer that to competition, you should expect to make it. If you study for an exam and you know you're ready, you walk in and say, hey, let me have it, professor. Let me have it. I'm ready. But if you don't prepare, you like, I know it happened to me in college. I walked around like, oh, I hope he asked me what I studied. And if he didn't, I'm in trouble. It's all about confidence comes from one place only, and that's preparation. And that's what we thrive on that. There's no shortcut. No shortcut.
Coach, back here, for your program, because I know you're not going to talk about yourself, for your program, where does this win rank for you guys?
Well, it's the first time in the history of Bellarmine has ever beaten the University of Louisville. I mean, that's great for Bellarmine. And I've said all along, you know, you put the players first, you put your institution. That's why all week, this was not about me. I mean, everybody, like, I had an attitude or something. No, this was about them. They were in there. Our 8 weeks in the summer started on Monday, June the 5th. I mean, camps, it's pure basketball. It's pure basketball. And they have a special love for the game. They really do. We encourage it. We recruit it. We compliment it. But they deserve that credit. They do. Kendrick, you're right. It is about them. I mean, for me, it's hard pressed to find anybody, you know, that loves the University of Louisville more than me. I grew up 5 blocks away, 2 degrees, hours over my master's. Coach turned 2 Hall of Fame coaches. Enough said.
Garrett goes for 21. Let's talk about his night. He got it going. It seemed like his confidence was just oozing out.
Well, I think a lot of that was Withers' foul trouble. But that's how Garrett's practiced. That's how he's practiced. And he stepped up last year when Alec went down, the end of January, on the run to the ASUN Conference Championship. Garrett Tipton stepped up in a monster way, and he has progressed from there. You know, again, success breeds success, and boy, he did. But he, you know, in fairness, Withers was in foul trouble.
Anything else? Coach has practice at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Oh, wow. Should we just go practice right now? Should we just get off the bus and go on in and start practice? It's the next day. It wouldn't be a violation because it's the next day because you can't practice after a game. So it's the next day because we're at Moorhead, 8 o'clock Monday or Saturday night. And then we're going to play a game at Knights Hall. And just so everybody knows, Monday night, it's a 6 o'clock game. It's going to be, we had a little conflict with Freedom Hall. It's going to be very, very special. All students, all university personnel and their families, from the president's office to the facilities team, players' families and our families. And it's general mission. Sharon Davenport wants a good seat manager. I told her you better get there early. And let's kind of thank them and thank them for last March and encourage them to get into Freedom Hall as we go right back in. Thank you guys very, very much. I'll leave you this. Those guys will never forget it. They'll never forget it. Never. I mean, think about that. Those guys will never forget it. That's pretty neat when you coach. And again, thoughts and prayers, Stanley Harden's, his family, the Fairdale community, I played against him when I was in high school, and he was at Burn Creek. I mean, Rick's here. You guys that are around, I talked to Jody about this. Rick, have you ever heard anybody say anything bad about him? No. And he always made people feel better, didn't he?
Last time I talked to him on the phone about something else, and he says, I apologize for calling him. He said, you don't have to apologize. You can call me anytime.
It's unbelievable. I mean, he's an extraordinary guy. It's really, it stuck with me all day. He's a special guy, man. We need guys like him. We do. Thanks, everybody.